Hello there, hi, Aileen here. It's Friday morning here in Mougins in the south of France. And I'm coming live here to talk to you this morning on Savvy Personal Stylists Online Network. Hopefully I'm in the right group. I'm just going to check to make sure that I'm in the right place. Just to make sure. The internet is playing up a little bit. Hi Jackie, great to see you. Looks like I am actually live because I can just see people starting to join. Hi Manja, great to see you. Thank you for joining. Yeah, I already started live and I had to get out of it and go back into it. Hi Mutricia, great to see you here. Because the internet is just really playing up this morning. I don't know what's going on. Well, it is the south of France and we do struggle a bit with internet here, but generally it's okay and I get by fine. So thanks everyone for joining me so far. I have a pretty big agenda this morning, so I'm hoping that people who are planning to join will join fairly quickly and we can get going. If you're watching, say hi, just say hello, and where you're watching from would be really great as well. So I kind of know where you're calling in from or where you're joining from. Hi Marcella. Hi Marcella, great to see you. I know that Marcella is calling or is joining from Argentina. My son is reading Maradona at the moment, the book Maradona. So he gives me an update every morning about Maradona, which is amazing. It always reminds me of you, Marcella. Kanook, welcome. Thank you for joining. Nidhi, thank you for joining. It's great to have all these new people here. If you're new in the group, welcome. I hope you're making yourself at home. Clover here as well. Hi Clover, great to see you. So as we go through this call, feel free to pop on and drop your questions. Let me know where you're joining from. And if there's anything about what I'm saying that you have questions about or you don't agree with or you want more clarity on, just pop a little message into the chat and I can see it there. So the idea of these sessions on a Friday morning is that you get access to me and you can ask me usually questions related to what I'm talking about, though I will answer other questions as well, though I try and stay on topic because I usually have quite a bit to say. Okay, so what am I going to do this morning? We did run a competition. I did run a competition in the group related to a mandala that needed to be coloured in. So I got several entries for that, which I'm delighted with. There is still a chance to get your mandala in. I hope I'm saying that correctly. So basically it's an illustration that I asked you to fill in spring colours. So I got the entries to that so far. If you haven't sent it in yet, you have till basically the end of this call. I'm going to check again at the end of the call to see if there's any more entries. And then I will be announcing the winner of that competition at the end of this call. So there's either an entry to my Colour Analysis Made Simple program or my Connect and Convert program, which is social media for image consultants. So there's quite a nice prize going for that. So you still have time. Get that mandala in before the end of the call. So I will be announcing that winner at the end. Now, what am I going to be talking about today? I'm going to be talking about niching down. Now, this is a topic very close to my heart and I talk about it a lot. And all of my programs, one of the first things that we look at when I'm training people to be more effective in their business is their niche, their ideal client and who they're targeting. So this morning's discussion is all about that. It's all about, who exactly is your ideal client, your perfect fit. And I'm going to be talking about 5 ways that you can get more business by knowing who your ideal client or what exactly your niche is. So I'm going to start this morning's discussion with a little story. I love stories, I'm Irish, so I often use stories to illustrate a point. So this morning, I went on social media like I do most mornings. One of the first things I do is get my social media out of the way for the day. And I was just scrolling through Facebook, and a particular message caught my eye. So I actually screenshotted that message because I just thought the lady that put this message up was so clear in her message, and I knew immediately what she was offering, and I knew immediately where to go if I had this particular problem. So I thought I would direct you to this and actually read out what I came across. So I was scrolling through my feed in Facebook, and this message from Trisha Patterson of Limited Edition came up. And basically, the first line of the message was, "Want to find the perfect dress for you? If you do, then you should watch this interesting interview with Paris-based fashion designer Trisha Patterson, as she describes how she helps women like you look their best in a unique and beautiful way. As Trisha says, my beautiful Paris design dresses will make you look fabulous. I personally guarantee it. I am certain we can find the perfect dress for you. Just message me about what you need the dress for and any questions you may have, and I will happily help you, as I have years of experience in finding the right dress design and colours for women. Just send me a message. I would love to hear from you. Best wishes, Trisha." Now, this was a clear example to me of a lady who knew exactly what she was selling and who she was targeting. I actually clicked into her Facebook group, her page then, and this is what her headline said on her Facebook personal profile. It said, "Making the world a more beautiful place, one dress at a time." That was her headline. I knew that if I needed a dress for a special occasion that was custom made to my specifications, to my colouring, to my body shape, this would be the person to go to. This is how clear your message needs to be. Otherwise, it causes mass confusion. So if somebody was scrolling through your Facebook feed, would your message be as clear as that? For many image consultants and personal stylists, it is not. It is not clear what you offer. Generally speaking, the majority of messages are or headlines, or what you talk about is very, very general. So things like, "I help women look and feel better." I mean, it could be anything. It could be absolutely anything that you're offering. So that's what I'm talking about this morning. I'm talking about your messaging. Now, somebody else came on to, I also put a message up there this morning myself, because I went to an art exhibition yesterday and I was talking to a lady there. And she said, "You know what? I see you on social media all the time." And I was thrilled, because I am on social media all the time. And I was thrilled. Oh, she's after seeing me on social media now, and she knows exactly what I offer. And then she went on to say, you know, "But what do you do? What is it that you actually offer?" And I was there, oh my God, I thought I was so clear in my message of what I actually offered. But here she was telling me that she didn't really know. She kind of had a vague idea that, you know, I provided colour analysis, but she got a bit confused somewhere along the way. Now, it could be that she got confused because, you know, I have changed what I do over time. I have niched down over time, and I started out as an image consultant. I did colour analysis, I did style consultations, I do online colour analysis, and now I specifically focus on helping image consultants and personal stylists get more clients, and I do that through my online programs. So I'm very clear in what I do, but that's how clear you have to be, and you have to get that message across to your audience, or else they get completely confused. And guess what people do when they're confused? Nothing. They absolutely do not buy. So one lady actually also came onto that post this morning, and she mentioned, but I serve such a wide range of women. You know, how can I possibly niche down? You know, my women are so different. And my answer to that is, niching down is not about turning people away. It's never about turning people away. It's about being really clear in your messaging and what you provide so that you attract your ideal client, the client that you really want to work with. I'm not saying that by niching down we will tell somebody who doesn't exactly fit in this niche or this ideal category that you will be turning them away. Of course you won't turn these clients away. We never turn clients away, or at least you can evaluate at the time that you get that client whether the client is somebody you want to work with or not. But you do need to get your messaging right to begin with, so that you draw in this perfect client. It's like having a goal. If you don't have an actual goal, a very clear focus and a very clear goal, and it's written down, the chances of you achieving it are very little. And the chances of your subconscious mind being in alignment with this goal is very little if you haven't even it clear in your mind. So first you get it clear in your mind, and then you align your subconscious to this goal, and then your chances of achieving it are far greater. So I have listed 5 things down this morning. I mean, I could talk indefinitely about ideal client, but I've just very randomly listed 5 things down here this morning that I wanted to talk about, and that you have the opportunity to ask questions about if you want. My plan is to talk about them generally, and why I so strongly believe that these 5 points will get you more business. But if you don't agree with any of them, or if you have any questions about any of them, please do ask me. Now, why am I talking about niching also? Because I have a 5-day Ideal Client Challenge coming up, and I am promoting my 5-day Ideal Client Challenge, and I will put the link in here for you to join my 5-day Ideal Client Challenge if that's what you would like to do. Now, people kind of get confused between niching and ideal client. Now, to me, they're actually one and the same thing. A niche is an area that you focus on, and your ideal client is the person really that you help. But the two of them are kind of intermingled, and people use them interchangeably. So when I'm talking about niching down, I'm talking about the service you provide specifically, the person you help with that service, and how you provide that service. So all of those 3 things are really, really important. And in my Ideal Client Challenge, that's what I focus on. I focus on who your ideal client is, how you're going to help them, and where you'll find them basically. So my ideal client focuses in on all those areas of niching. So the first point I have put down here in my little notebook is keeping your message really general makes it really hard for you, because you have to keep creating new materials all the time. So when I started out around 2006, March 2006, I basically provided every known image and color service to every person out there, to men, women, corporations. About the only people that I didn't serve were children. So like I get, a corporate client maybe one day, and then I might randomly get, a woman client that was going to be promoted from work another day, and then another day I might get a man that wanted to go shopping because, he had an important meeting coming up. Those 3 different types of clients have extremely different needs, and the materials I would require to educate those 3 different clients would be quite different. So can you imagine the work involved in generating materials for those three different types of ideal client? It would be extremely difficult. So that's my first point. Creating materials takes time, it takes effort, it takes a lot of energy. And if you're creating that for very, very different markets, really, are you getting return on the amount of time that you're investing in that? So one of my corporate clients was Standard Chartered Bank, and they wanted me to go in and they wanted me to do like an afternoon training, I don't know, with 30 of their new graduates. That took me weeks to prepare that material, and because corporations weren't my ideal client, I really had no idea who my ideal client were. I never used that material again. It was left sitting there. Whereas if I knew specifically that, corporate clients, specifically banks, were my ideal client, when I created that material, I could use it over and over and over again. Which takes me to my second point, and that's, how can you be an expert in a particular area if you're servicing all these people? Can you imagine my level of expertise if my ideal client was a bank and it was a corporate bank? And can you imagine that if I delivered that workshop over and over again, I got feedback, I improved my presentation, I understood the needs of these people serving, I become the go-to person for banks because of my expertise, because of my knowledge, because of the time I have spent creating my materials. Whereas oftentimes in those early days, I wasn't an expert in anything. I wasn't an expert in a bank. I wasn't an expert in helping men, and I really wasn't an expert in helping women either, because my time was so unfocused. I was pulled in so many different directions, and there is no way I could be an expert to every single person out there. So point number 2 is that definitely you cannot become an expert in an area unless you are servicing that particular individual or that individual corporation for a long period of time. That's how you become an expert. You don't become an expert by reading a book. You become an expert by learning that person inside out, understanding their problems, understanding what keeps them up at night, understanding their particular considerations. So for instance, in the case of the Standard Chartered Bank, they had a specific customer that they needed to look the part for. Now, I gave a general presentation that took me so long to prepare, I'll be very honest, and I was so nervous, because the truth is I was nervous because I didn't know the client very well. I didn't know them inside out and upside down. Whereas what you find when you know the person that you're talking inside out and upside down, you know exactly what problem you're solving, all the nerves disappear, because you know exactly what their problems are. You know how you can help them, look the part, or you know how you can help them to get more clients, or you know how to help them so they're confident to stand up and speak. The nerves away, because you are the expert, you're not winging it. Whereas when you're trying to show everyone that you're the expert, you can't possibly be. It just makes your life very, very, very difficult. So the next point I have here, now do pop in your questions, because sometimes I'm talking and I'm thinking I'm being very clear, or I'm talking too quickly. Pop in your questions and ask me any questions that you have if it's unclear what I'm talking about. Great to see you here. Rashida, great to see you here. Katha, great to see you here. Brilliant to see so many people on the call. I love when people come on and join me. So I'm on to point number 3, and I'm going to talk about competition. Because oftentimes image consultants and personal stylists see each other as competition. I worked in Singapore for many years. I worked with the local AICI chapter. I was the membership officer with them. And what I discovered in the early days is that a lot of image consultants and personal stylists don't really talk because they see each other as competition, especially image consultants and personal stylists in the same area, you know, the same local area. A little bit less so online because obviously the world is very, very big. As I saw it, and this is just my opinion, it was very, very closed. It's improved a bit, I think, since there's a lot more image consultants and personal stylists out there. But my belief is if you are niche down and you are an expert in your area, you have no competition. So for instance, this lady here, who I was talking about earlier, the story, what she does is she creates the perfect dress in the right colors and in the right style for you. And she does this through her designing skills. So this is this girl I was talking about earlier. She has no competition. No one else is in competition with her because she's really, really clear in her message. She knows exactly what she's providing. So she has no competition. So somebody, when they're looking for a dress and they have a bit to spend, they're going to go to her. But if you're providing the exact same thing as every other image consultant out there, like color, style, shopping, a wardrobe, you're in competition with all the other people because you haven't differentiated yourself. So niching is about differentiating yourself, making yourself a little bit different. So in my case, how am I different from every other image consultant trainer out there? I'm different because at least for me, I show image consultants how to get clients. I don't just show them how to do color. I don't just show them how to do a style. I show them how to get clients and how to be financially independent. So I differentiate myself in that way. And that's what you need to do. You need to be able to clearly say, why are you different from everyone else? Are you churning out the exact same stuff as every other image consultant out there? So when you determine what exactly your niche is, who your ideal client is, you no longer have any competition. I don't worry about any other image trainer out there because I know in my heart that they don't provide the same as me. And even if somebody copied me and decided they were going to provide exactly what I provide, they're not me. They don't deliver it in the exact same way. And that's the other thing. I mean, I have so many points here, but I think once you become really clear, you become so much more confident. So you're so much more confident to be yourself. You're not going to try to be any more professional or more this or more that or look different or change anything about yourself or worry about your accent like I used to do in the old days, or worry that you didn't look like an image consultant, or I don't know, whatever it is that you worry about. I think when you figure out what it is that you truly, how you can truly help someone, your confidence just goes through the roof. And it's not like a false confidence. It's a gut feel that you know exactly how to help this person. You know exactly how you can take them from their problem to a place where they feel so much better. And that's what niching down does for you, because you're an expert in that area. That's what you study every day. That's what you talk about every day. That's what people talk to you about. And you hear where they have the issues. You hear how they can help you. And oftentimes you might think that, oh, well, you know, how I can help them is really basic, but it's really basic for you, but it's not really basic for them. Okay, so that's the competition one. And then we're on to number 4, which I put here is hashtag marketing. Marketing becomes so much easier. coming on and talking on video. I put up in the group during the week. Ginny, one of our members, is running Get Started on Video challenge. And I put it up here because I think it's very relevant for all of us on here, that we need to be talking in video. We need to be visual. People need to see us. They need to hear us talking, and they need to hear us talking about how we can help them. So why did I get started on that story? I can't remember why I got started on that story. Oh, and why I got started on that story actually was because it's very hard to go on video if you don't know what you're talking about. Until I got seriously clear on what I was talking about, I couldn't go on video. How can you go on video and talk about something if you're not exactly clear on how you can help people? So I'm not sure if Ginny's challenge will tackle this or not next week, but being really clear on, you know, who you're talking to. I usually have one person in mind when I come on to chat on video. I have my ideal client very clearly in my head, and I'm just specifically talking to her. I'm talking to her, and I'm telling her how I can help her. I'm telling her things that I think will help her solve her problem. I'm talking to her about other clients that are very similar to her, so she can see herself in who I'm talking about. If you're not clear who that person is, if I had to come on video and my general focus was corporations, men and women, I wouldn't have a clue what to talk about, and none of those people would actually identify with what I was saying. Hi Vicky, great to see you here. Thanks for joining. So I see no questions yet. I'm hoping that somebody will pop a question in there to me about niching. So yeah, so that's marketing. You're marketing, getting on video, writing on Facebook, writing on LinkedIn, putting pictures on Instagram. All of that becomes so much easier when you know exactly who you're talking to. You know, before I go on video, I just think, what is she struggling with today? So I often think, oh, maybe she's struggling with getting visual. Maybe she's struggling with, you know, doing a video. Sorry, something happened there. A phone call came in. Sometimes that happens when you're live. Hopefully it didn't cut us off there. So the next point I have here is niching down will help your ideal client actually see what you have to offer. So anywhere, right? Just only need a perfect dress. Yes, Marcella is talking about the lady that I was talking at the start of this call. So she was asking about who this lady's perfect client was. And yes, this particular lady offers the service online. So she can provide the perfect dress from anywhere in the world. I think she can be of any age or any condition. That's not a problem. But her service is very, very niche. She didn't niche down in terms of specifically her woman. So she wasn't saying it has to be a woman that's 40 plus, but her service is very niche. So she only provides a perfect dress. She doesn't provide anything else. So that's kind of a different way of niching down. You can have an ideal, she can be of any age or condition. How do I know that I don't niche down my clients too much? I've never seen anybody niche down too much. Generally speaking, I see people casting their net too wide. I mean, you do have to do a certain amount of research. You have to make sure that, you know, there's these kind of people out there. That's a little bit easier if your service is online. If it's local, yes, there is a fear that perhaps you would niche down too much. So you have to think about, are these people in the region? And maybe you also need to look at how you provide your service. Marcella is saying, I lost your connection. I'm showing still live. So hopefully it's from your side, Marcella, not from mine. I am going to put this video on replay as well, so you get a chance to watch it on replay. So niching down too much, honestly, that was one of my big concerns when I was niching down. So I had to research and make sure that there was enough people out there for my specific service. So, you know, I was pretty much looking for consultants who are already trained. So it's a very, very specific niche, mine. I would say for the majority of people, especially image consultants, I can't imagine. I mean, Kata, do you have a niche in mind that you think would be too small? I don't think that's of huge concern, unless you're targeting, I don't know, it's hard to imagine how the niche could be that specific. But if you give me an example, maybe I can talk to that. Niching down will help your ideal client actually see what you have to offer. So this goes back to my story of the lady I was talking to in the exhibition yesterday. Even though I thought I was being really, really clear, she about what I had to offer. So you have to, while it might seem repetitive to you, while it might seem, you know, simplistic to you, and you might think that everybody knows exactly what you provide, the majority of the time people are so bombarded with messages from every angle that unless you're very clear and you repeat it over and over again, they're not really going to get what you actually do. So being really broad in your marketing and in your message and in what you're putting out there confuses people. So they don't actually know what you're offering. And guess what people do when they are confused? Nothing. They definitely don't buy. So I have learned over the years that if I have to keep putting the same thing out there over and over and over again. Now, some of my audience see it over and over again, but if I'm adding new people all the time, if new people are getting to know me all the time, sometimes a person might have only seen me once. I am sure there are people even on this video who've only seen me speaking for the first time, maybe today. Whereas, you know, I'm online nearly every day, I'm talking every day, but there are new people to my audience every day. So that very clear message that you have from niching down, you'll repeat that over and over and over again. And if you're changing your message all the time, or if you're changing your target all the time, or if your audience is really, really wide, your perfect client is not hearing you. They're not hearing what you have to say. Yeah, I have no other way of saying that. If you don't repeat your message over and over again in the same way, saying it different ways, saying it, you know, in different kinds of messages, on video, on written posts with pictures, people are just not going to get what you're doing. And then the last point I have here is actually creating your website, your lead magnets, etc., your funnel. How are you going to go about creating your website if you don't know who the website is for? You know, again, are you going to keep the website really general so that, you know, a corporation is going to look at it and they're going to know exactly what you provide? Are you going to keep it general so men will look at it and know what you provide? Are you going to create it so that, you know, every woman in the world will look at it and know exactly what you provide? It's extremely difficult to create an effective website unless you know who it is exactly you're targeting. Same with lead magnet. You know, a lead magnet is a freebie that you provide to people so you know that they join your mailing list. How are you going to create that lead magnet which will call in your perfect client if you don't know who you're creating it for? So you create this general thing that nobody opts in for, or the wrong type of people opt in for, people that you don't even want to work with. So, you know, all of these things, you critically need to know who exactly you're talking to, or else it's extremely, extremely important. So I've done a lot of talking there. I've basically talked for nearly 40 minutes on ideal client. In my Ideal Client Challenge, which is starting on the 24th of February, I take all my clients, all my paying clients through this process. Is free of charge. You will probably do the work in 15 to 30 minutes every day. Some of the days are much shorter than other of the days. It's starting on the 24th of February and it will run until the 28th of February. And you will get basically you join a Facebook group and you get a task every day, and we work on identifying who your ideal client is or who your niche is. And I will be in there in the group every day. I put a video in there. I talk you through how to narrow down what your market could potentially be. And as I said, we're not talking about turning away clients, but my philosophy is casting your, your marketing wide is like spray painting. You'll get everybody and nobody. You really need to niche down, and I'm very passionate about this because this is what made the difference in my business. I can come on and confidently speak about my area of expertise every day because I know exactly who I'm talking to. I feel very comfortable talking to that person. And I repeat my same message over and over again, which is oftentimes, have you niched down yet? So pop any questions on there. If there is no questions, I'm going to go straight to announcing the winner for the competition, which was the Mandala competition, where I asked people to fill in the illustration with spring colors. So I'm just going to pop on the website and just make sure that nobody else got an entry in there while I was talking. Any questions, anyone? Oh, let me see. I'm just going to refresh, make sure that nobody else is in there. So far, who do I have in here? Serena made an entry, Kata made an entry, Mutricia made an entry. Let me see. Okay. Wendy made an entry, Claire Wright made an entry, and Clover made an entry. I don't see any new entries in here, even though I've just refreshed the website. You're very clear, Marcella said. No questions. I hope I'm very clear, Marcella. Thank you so much for saying that. And I can be very clear in my message because it worked for me. And I'm actually a very practical and simple person, and if I don't understand it, I can't really explain it very well. So for me, I just can't imagine how you can start your marketing, how you can start creating your website, how you can get on video every day if you're not really, really clear on who your ideal client is. It's so hard to be confident and to speak confidently if you don't know who you're talking to. It's like a basic thing in my mind. So if you've done my ideal client already, you are welcome to join again. If you haven't done any ideal client work before, please do come and join the group. As I said, it's completely free. It's a great opportunity. And coming back to it, the winner is, woohoo, woohoo, woohoo. The winner is Clover. Clover gets entry to the Color Analysis Made Simple program because she's already in my Connect and Convert, and she really, really wanted to get into the Color Analysis Made Simple program. So Clover is the winner, and I'm sure she'd be very, very delighted with that. She did a lovely job. Everybody did a lovely job. Thank you for filling in the competition. But Clover made an extra effort, and she explained very clearly why she picked the colors, and she explained, you know, what her theory behind was it, and the colors were very vibrant. So I thought it was lovely. So I think she deserved to win. Some of the other winners some of the other entries were very good indeed as well. And thank you everyone who decided to enter the competition. And you know what they say, if you're not in, you can't win. So for the who missed out, hopefully I'll run another competition in a while to get you all participating again. So yeah, so that's all I kind of had to talk about today. If nobody else has any questions, at the end of this, I'm going to put this live, and I'm also going to put the link for my free 5-day ideal client challenge. And it's about niching down and establishing who your ideal client is. So thanks so much for listening. I hope you're enjoying the group. I'm doing my best to make it as interesting and as useful as possible for you. I'm also encouraging you to post. You know, post your questions, post your queries. Marcella said, I hope I can have my pencils on site soon. Don't know what that means. Maybe she hopes she can win soon. I don't know what that means. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to kick back a little bit now. Thank you to Marcella, and thanks everyone who joined, and drop your questions underneath if you have anything for me. Otherwise, I'm hoping to see you in my free 5-day ideal client challenge. Thanks a lot. Bye.